The ground beneath your feet feels pretty solid, right? Stable, still. But that feeling, it's a bit of an illusion. Today, we're going to explore a really simple but mind-bending question. What would actually happen if the Earth, our planet that's always in motion, just suddenly stopped spinning?
Let's just start with this number, 1,670 kilometers per hour. To give you some context, that is significantly faster than the speed of sound.
So what on earth could be moving that fast? It's not a passenger jet, not even close. It's not the fastest train on the planet. Any guesses?
Believe it or not, that's how fast you are moving at this very moment. You're just being carried along by the rotation of our planet. This constant silent motion has been shaping our world for over 4 billion years. And understanding this motion is the absolute key to understanding why a sudden stop would be so unbelievably catastrophic.
Okay, so to really get a handle on the consequences of a sudden stop, we first need to understand the motion itself. Earth makes one full spin on its axis about every 24 hours. That's what gives us our familiar cycle of day and night.
Now what's interesting is this speed isn't the same everywhere. If you're standing on the equator, you're whipping around at that incredible 1,670 kilometers per hour. But if you were at the North or South Pole, you'd hardly be moving at all, just kind of slowly turning in place.
And technically, the Earth's spin is slowing down over time. The moon's gravity tugs on our oceans, creating tides, and this whole process acts like a very, very gentle brake. But the effect is tiny. We're talking about our day getting longer by just 1.7 milliseconds every 100 years. It's happening so slowly, you'd never, ever notice it.
So it's really important to remember that what we're talking about here is purely a thought experiment. There's no known force in nature that could just slam the brakes on our planet. We're exploring this wild what-if scenario because it does an amazing job of showing us just how vital the Earth's constant spin is for everything. All right, now let's imagine that moment, the instant the stop happens. If the solid part of the Earth just halted, everything that happens in those first few seconds would be controlled by one single incredibly powerful law of physics. And that principle is inertia. We've all felt it, right? You're in a car that brakes suddenly and your body keeps lurching forward. Now just try to imagine that exact same principle, but instead of a car, it's the entire planet.
Here's what would go down. The solid ground, the crust of the Earth, would come to a dead stop. But everything on the surface, our atmosphere, the oceans, every single building, you and me, would keep right on moving at its original speed, all thanks to inertia. And that difference in motion is what kicks off all the destruction.
Instantly, the atmosphere would effectively become a planet-wide supersonic wind. And we're not talking about a storm here. This would be a force so powerful it would literally pulverize buildings, strip entire forests down to bare rock, and scour the surface of the continents completely clean. And the oceans? They would surge forward, creating these unimaginable mega tsunamis, literally kilometers high. They'd wash across entire continents in just a matter of hours, totally redrawing the map of the world. So, after that initial, incredibly violent scouring of the surface, the planet itself would start to go through a slow but really dramatic transformation. You see, the forces that have been shaping it for billions of years would suddenly be gone, and the Earth would have to settle into a whole new shape. Here's a cool fact. Our planet isn't a perfect sphere. Because it spins, it bulges out at the middle, at the equator, kind of like a spinning water balloon. This equatorial bulge makes the planet about 43 kilometers wider than it is tall. And without that spin, the bulge wouldn't be there. Without that spinning force, gravity would just pull the Earth into a much more perfect sphere. All the water that was held at the equator by that bulge would start to migrate towards the poles. Eventually, you'd end up with 2 massive polar oceans and one gigantic continent wrapped all the way around the planet's new equator. And this whole reshaping process wouldn't be quiet. As that bulge collapsed, the Earth's crust would buckle and shift, triggering massive, globe-spanning earthquakes and volcanic eruptions that would just keep going for thousands of years as the planet settled into its new form. The changes wouldn't just be geologic. The very conditions that make Earth this perfect home for life would start to break down, one by one, turning it into a place that is truly alien. A huge part of what keeps us safe is our magnetic field. It's generated by the churning of molten iron in the planet's core, a motion that's driven by the Earth's spin. So if the rotation stops, that magnetic generator shuts down. The shield fades away, and suddenly, deadly solar radiation could bombard the surface. It would also slowly strip away our atmosphere, which is pretty much what we think happened to Mars billions of years ago.
The whole concept of a 24-hour day would be gone too. The Earth would still be orbiting the Sun, of course, but now one day would last an entire year. That means 6 straight months of relentless, scorching sunlight, followed by 6 straight months of frigid, absolute darkness. Temperatures would swing from way above boiling to far below freezing, making survival on the surface pretty much impossible.
So, after going through that absolutely terrifying scenario, it's probably a good time to come back to reality. Why does the Earth spin in the first place? And maybe more importantly, why can we be so confident it's not going to stop?
The simple answer is that the Earth was born spinning. Our solar system formed from this gigantic, slowly rotating cloud of gas and dust. As gravity pulled all that material together to form the planets, that rotation naturally sped up. It's the same reason a figure skater spins faster when they pull their arms in. The scientific name for this is the conservation of angular momentum.
The amount of energy tied up in our planet's spin is just enormous. There is simply no known force in nature that could possibly apply the brakes hard enough to bring it to a sudden stop. It's a physical impossibility. And what this whole thought experiment really shows us is a profound truth. Earth's rotation isn't just some minor detail. It's the master regulator of our entire world. It gives us our days, it drives our weather, it shields us from radiation, and ultimately it creates the stable, livable planet we call home.
So, the next time you feel that solid ground beneath you, take a second to remember the immense silent motion that you are a part of. That feeling of stability doesn't come from a lack of movement, but from a constant, incredibly reliable spin that has defined our planet for its entire history and will continue to do so long, long into the future.